You're listening to AT Reads, audio versions of selected content from All the Elements, a non-profit network for those working on diversity in the UK outdoors. This audio recording is made possible with the support from co-operative tour operator HF Holidays, who've been providing walking and activity holidays since 1913. Find out more at hfholidays.co.uk. Hi, I'm Rachel Sampara. I'm the author of the article you're about to hear. For the text version of this article, plus much more, head to alltheelements.co/news. Breaking down barriers to beekeeping. Written by Rachel Sampara. Read by Rachel Sampara
and All the Elements content manager, Francesca Turauskis. Ever thought about keeping bees? With pollinators in decline, it is an important part of securing our food systems and encouraging biodiversity. Plus, we think it's badass. We asked beekeeper Rachel Sampara to give us the lowdown on beekeeping, how she got started, and how she's helping others to overcome the barriers to this traditional craft.
What does a beekeeper look like? You don't look like a beekeeper. I've lost count over the years of how often I've encountered that surprised response when I've revealed my profession. It always makes me quietly chuckle as I wonder, what is a beekeeper supposed to look like? That said, they're probably right. Despite the honeybee colony being governed by a matriarchy, the industry of beekeepers, on the other hand, is most certainly a male-dominated profession. I contribute towards the 32% of beekeepers in the UK that identify as female. There is no clear explanation of the gender gap. My research on the topic has just led me to old wives' tales, conspiracy theories, and eventual dead ends. So unfortunately, I can only present you with the concrete numbers regarding this, and you'll have to draw your own conclusions on the why. It's not only my gender that prevents me from being a stereotypical candidate of the apiarist industry. Some of those who voice that I don't conform to their idea of a beekeeper will frequently follow up saying that I look too young. As far as I'm aware, there's no age restrictions on learning the craft, but there is some logic behind their preconceived notions. The average age of beekeepers in the UK is 65. Beekeeping can take up a good portion of your time, depending on the number of hives you care for and how much you want to get out of it, both in terms of byproducts and personal satisfaction. Perhaps at 65, you may soon be leaving the rat race behind you and feel it is the prime opportunity to indulge in the apiarist's lifestyle. While I agree that beekeeping is a fabulous way to spend your retirement, it is also important that the craft is diversified beyond the national averages. Who will we pass the proverbial beekeeping baton onto if young people aren't encouraged to engage? A barrier into beekeeping can also be financial, which is why the craft is probably most associated with the middle class. An unconventional journey into a life with bees. When I set up my beekeeping business, Wings and Radicals, in 2020, I was far from financially secure. A working-class 20-something made jobless by the global pandemic, but despite my financial hardship, my passion and perseverance fueled me. I have learned that it's people that are our biggest assets, and I would advise you to make the most of them. Talk, share your hopes and dreams with strangers and loved ones. You never know what resources or opportunities may come from a single conversation. I was very fortunate to have my first hives gifted to me by a wonderful beekeeping company, who are the honey suppliers to one of the high street giants. The opportunity arose when I was encouraged by a fellow social entrepreneur to phone them and ask if they had any equipment going spare for a new starter. I'll be honest, at first I was mortified by the idea. You can't just call a stranger out the blue and ask them for stuff, I thought. Well, apparently you can, because luckily for me, they generously obliged and donated 2 beehives. I was then given some beekeepers' essentials by a local beekeeper I met at a community event who happened to be moving abroad and was looking to pass the equipment on to a beekeeper in need. I even managed to get my first colony for free by catching a swarm. Once I tentatively secured the swarm in a small box, I somehow managed to smuggle the bees undetected onto a bus to transport them to their new home. I've borrowed endless amounts of equipment, occupied spaces, and accepted the helping hands of family, friends, and kindly acquaintances in exchange for a well-deserved jar of honey at the end of the season. I may not have had the most glamorous start with shiny new things and copious amounts of fancy tools and equipment, but I've done it my way, and it makes me all the more proud of where I am today. How to get started. I appreciate that not everyone may feel comfortable starting their journey into beekeeping by chatting about the subject to unwitting strangers, so I thought it would be helpful of me to share a good starting point. Find your local branch of the British Beekeepers Association, BBKA. The BBKA has groups all across the UK and provides education, regular community meetings, and social gatherings that cater to new starters and experienced beekeepers alike. If you are near the Liverpool area, however, I would of course recommend that you pay Wings and Radicals a visit. Wings and Radicals isn't just about the act of beekeeping itself. It's about creating an inclusive environment in a field that has previously been made precious by generations gone by. My ethos is to not only open the door to the world of beekeeping, but to ensure that it's an accessible space once you arrive. There is no excuse not to make reasonable adjustments in the education sector, and I maintain this view when I plan the delivery of my beekeeping sessions. My ongoing working relationship supporting people with learning disabilities allows me to learn and grow as a teacher by gaining live feedback about the most beneficial teaching styles that cater to a wide range of learners and their needs. If you are interested in participating in a beekeeping workshop, I encourage you to get in touch. My workshops are a hybrid of online and practical sessions at my hives near Liverpool. And if you have any concerns, recommendations, or require any reasonable adjustments, just let me know. I'm not perfect, but I'm passionate about evolving the business and pride myself in continual learning and openness. I opened this article commenting on how often I'm told that I don't fit the beekeeper archetype. Pollinator protection is essential work, and it is crucial that all feel welcomed and encouraged to be part of the mission. Knowledge, skills, and most importantly, passion, need to reach beyond the typical demographics. I hope my continuing efforts to share my beekeeping expertise and open my heart and my hives to all will make the statement, "You don't look like a beekeeper," become obsolete.
Thank you for listening to this article. Rachel Sampara is the founder and director of Wings and Radicals CIC, a social enterprise with a mission to use the craft of beekeeping to improve mental well-being. You can find out more about Rachel's beekeeping and workshops or get in touch with her by visiting wingsandradicals.co.uk. All the Elements is a non-profit community of individuals increasing access and representation for systemically excluded and underrepresented groups in the UK outdoors. We run events, offer one-on-one support, curate online resources, promote the work and successes of our community members, offer consultancy and more. You can find out more on our website, follow us on social media, and subscribe to our Substack newsletter. Thank you to HF Holidays for making the audio version of this article possible. HF Holidays is Britain's longest-running cooperative tour operator, with over 111 years' experience in organising walking and activity holidays worldwide. They connect like-minded people through shared outdoors experiences and have a community of 48,000 members who have a passion for the countryside. As a B Corp certified business, they are dedicated to sustainable travel and community-focused initiatives, such as their Pathways Fund, which has been raising money to provide assisted holidays and preserve and protect the countryside. Things you can do next. Number 1. If you're interested in beekeeping, Rachel recommends getting in touch with the British Beekeepers Association, the BBKA, to find your local branch. Number 2, find out about World Bee Day, which takes place every year on the 20th of May to spread awareness of the significance of bees. Number 3, Wings and Radicals beekeeping workshops are aimed at beginners. No previous knowledge or experience is required, just a desire to learn about bees. Rachel offers a half-day experience or a 6-week course that consists of 4 online sessions and 2 sessions at the hives. Number 4. Find out more about the hives at HF Holidays Cottages. Number 5. Listen to Queen Bees with Jane Horrocks and Esther Coles to hear about the ups and downs of beekeeping. The episode Being a Positive Nuisance with Robin Maynard talks about more sustainable practices for looking after the planet. And number 6. Take the CBBC quiz to find out what bee you would be. All those links are in the original article on our website. Breaking Down Barriers to Beekeeping was first published on alltheelements.co on the 30th of January 2025. For the text version of the article, further resources on beekeeping and information on bees in sustainability, you can find a link to that article in the notes for this episode.